Hello there! And sorry, no content today. Sort of. Kind of. Um, Due to some unforeseen, surprising circumstances, my son is home with me today. So I cannot stream my typical homebrew and design stream today. And if my voice is a little quiet, he's sleeping right over there, just within eyesight. Um, but I did want to at least give a little bit of an update about how that homebrew and design is going, or where it's going to go, and what we're going to do next week. Okay? So let me just switch over real fast. Boom. Here we go. So, what we've done up till now has been it's playing around the spell schools of wizards, the wizard schools. Since with the remaster, we're going to be losing the abjuration, evocation, illusion, enchantment, divination, etc. We're losing those qualifying traits, and we're losing those spell schools. So what replaces it is sort of up in the air. And as my way of getting a jump on things and keeping things still in the pre-remaster OGL Pathfinder, we pitched a few ideas, and I've made this class archetype from those ideas. Now I've got it all written out over here, and you can see our little example, but I've actually got it over here in a nice PDF for us to look at, and I'll go through it real fast, what we've done while he's still sleeping. Okay, so first off, this is a class archetype for the wizard. Okay, and when you take it at level 1, you choose which school to belong to, and your school does two things. It gives you a practice, and it gives you spells that aren't typically on the arcane spell list. So, for instance, the War Wizard gets that +1 item bonus to spell attack rolls, and it increases +2 at level 10. This would put them at levels 19 to 20, actually beyond most martials by half a proficiency, by +1, which I feel like isn't too bad, all things considered, rather than being down 1. As well, we have a few damaging spells that get added to the War Wizard's repertoire. Mugambian Halcyon Mage gets to choose from Divine, Occult, or Primal, and then draw those spells from their tradition. That is their practice, which just at every level, they will pick one spell from that tradition. There could be some balance issues, but we'll think about that later. This is a rough draft, so we might add more. We'll talk about that. And the Shifting Shaper, when you cast a spell with this polymorph trait, you may stride or strike as a free action. Sorry, I thought he started to wake up. And of course, more spells. Now, what the dedication gives us is it gives us this swift recall focus power, which we have down here. Woo! Here we go. Don't peek. Giving you, essentially, when combat starts, using a focus point to make a recall knowledge check, and at higher levels, those will get status bonuses. Because just if it's, I want to talk about that more later, and maybe I will in the next stream. Gotta be quick. As well, we get our focus spell and our greater focus spell, which I talked about before. I just changed around what those spells are. And as an extra little something, a reaction feat that allows them to also make recall knowledge checks when allies make recall knowledge checks. Cool. All right, so this is someone who's studied. I kind of want to emphasize that they're a very knowledgeable wizard. So we have a few spells here, and one of them might be getting a change in the near future. Matter of fact, one did get a change between me talking now and me actually... Between a little change I made this morning and me talking now. But we have the War Wizard has essentially a spell attack roll for some decent damage on one action at range. I changed this to be heightened 1 and damage by 1d10 just to kind of smooth out that transition instead of jerking up. Brutal magic might get changed because right now what it is a little actually not mechanically good, and it's sort of a trap option. So despite designing it, it's not good. And a few other things. Now, talking about this all right now, my plan is to throw this on Pathfinder Infinite for free So if you're interested in it, come the next stream, I will likely link to that in the chat or even throw it up on the YouTube at some point. So yeah, cool. Drow. I'm going to talk about the Drow real fast because the Drow aren't very... here, let's change this. Nope. I guess I didn't have the... Look at that, I didn't even save the Drow. Well, there, that's my answer. I had a few ideas kicking around for Drow, but I don't find it all that interesting. For instance, let me see what I wrote here. Essentially, that baseline heritage level 1 ancestry feat, or baseline lineage ancestry feat that we made, taking away that dim light power, and instead replacing it with that getting a reaction, much like the ancient blooded dwarves, to get bonuses against spells. Cool. And then putting a little thing on there called growing power, which is anytime you take an ancestry feat with the Drow trait, for instance, you would get to choose from a list of options, like getting the darkness spell-like ability, or a spell once a day, sort of thing. But the more I toyed around with this idea and the more I played around with it, I wasn't interested in it. And I don't think it'd make a very interesting anything. And I don't really want to pursue it further. If people are really interested in seeing more Drow stuff, let me know. We can go back and revisit it, but for now I'm just going to shelve those ideas, and that's all right. Let's see, other thing I was going to do, give them access to spells per day, greater dark vision, the ability to avoid notice while in caverns as an exploration activity for free. And the other thing I was planning to do today was our Twitch adventure. But I think we really kind of nailed how to set up an adventure. We didn't really actually make any real encounters. We didn't talk about skill checks. And what I was going to do today was do a mini dungeon crawl, which I'll show that off a little bit. Let me just get over here. Boop. What I was gonna do. Okay. So what I was going to do right here is we're gonna just design a little something here. Let's just there we go. This way we could just real easy make rooms. How big is that going to be? There we go. And kind of design out a dungeon together. Now I know there are other fancier tools than using, Photoshop for this. But it'd be a quick way to show how we could, in a sketchbook or a notebook, quickly draw out and make a dungeon. But I'd like to save that for a different adventure. One that doesn't start at level 6 and maybe isn't something I'm fully invested in that I think we could do something better. So, what I'd like to do next week is we're going to go in a different direction. I'd like to write a level 0 adventure. Now, I think level 0 adventures are very interesting because I haven't seen any of them yet. And I think we could play around with the idea of a funnel adventure, if players are interested in that, or one direction, a funnel adventure in which players would have lots of level 0 characters that are presumably going to die, and a kind of revamped beginner box adventure to show players the ropes in a way that maybe the beginner box, which, while great, still is just a storyless dungeon crawl, show off some mechanics and things that maybe the beginner box does not. So, that's the direction we're going to be going with next week. And in terms of the mechanics design, I think I'd like to talk about skill feats. I don't think skill feats are a really good thing for people to homebrew, mostly because they're so tight and that there is very little necessity for more skill feats in the game. But I do have a few ideas, especially as more systems keep getting added into the game, systems that kind of get interacted with on a fairly decent, fairly commonly. I think there is some little bit of wiggle room for us to make some skill feats. So that's what we're going to do next week, skill feats and a level 0 adventure. Taking a look again, we may be publishing this on Pathfinder Infinite again free, pay what you want. I would recommend nobody pay more than $1. This is something that is already up for free. People can look at this on YouTube or Twitch, so I don't think we're actually going to charge anything for this. But make a nice little stable library of homebrew things that we can play around with. All right, so I have to go watch my son, make sure he is A-OK. And everybody else, thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you this upcoming Sunday night, 9:30 Eastern Time, and 6:30 Pacific Time. Is that right? Yes, that's correct. And, of course, our Thursday night streams, the Homebrew and Design streams, are a little bit later. That is about 11:30 Eastern Time and 9:30 Pacific Standard. Pacific Standard? PDT, right? Pacific. Anyway, thank you so much. And I do hope that me being gone this week is not a big interruption to anybody's routine. Really shouldn't be. All right. Thank you again. Bye-bye.